Welcome back, graphic designers. For this week, we are going to focus on Lesson 5, Assignment 5, which is team logos. We are still doing some mock-ups, and so before you spend millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars printing new team logos, it might be worthwhile for us to create a mock-up. And so I'm going to assume, of course, as always, that you have gone through this lesson or that you are in our in-person lesson this week. If you haven't, please go through this. Lots of incredible information here for you. There's our Lumio slideshow right there. One thing I do want to point out, and it's just going to be right down here, obviously some inspiration there. Oh, the Blue Jays throughout the years. As I scroll down here, you are going to see what each one needs to contain, and so a visual breakdown of what each thing needs to contain. Obviously, either an animal or something that pertains to that logo, right? Minnesota Wild, the wild is not an animal, and so that's okay. One or more animals, a team name, a town, a city, a country, something where this team comes from. And so we're going to jump right into Pixlr here. I'm going to create a new, and I'm just going to go wide here with no background. I'm going to leave it untitled, not a big thing. Okay, so now I'm going to get this as my image layer. Okay, I'm going to begin by, I'm going to make this a circular logo. Not necessary, but I'm going to make it a circular logo. And so I'm going to start with my tool down here for my shapes, my circle. And if I click Shift, you'll notice that I'm able to get a perfect circle. If I don't click Shift, here's what it looks like. Now I'm able to distort it, and I'm not good enough to make it look like a perfect circle. So Shift, click, and now I can make a perfect circle in my grid. Okay, obviously it's white because the image here or the color here that I have chosen is white. I can change that whenever I need to. Okay, so let's go with, I'm going to create, and I've already done a bit of searching around about what I wanted this to be. I wanted it to be the Calgary Cougars Football Club, and it's going to be football as in soccer. It's going to be a cougar that I've already done some of the research behind the scenes, and so you've already got your pictures that you want. And I've got a soccer ball, and I'm going to do some writing at the top. And so let's play around with it right now. Obviously, some of these things aren't as easy as they look, and so at times we will come up with some problems. I'm going to just move this over here, and you'll see that I've actually got the images that I want right here. I'm going to put a little bit of mountains in the background because, again, it's Calgary. I'm going to put a soccer ball, and I'm going to put this good old cougar, or as other people call it, a mountain lion. Please, when you are doing a search, make sure you put cougar animal. Sometimes you get some interesting images that come up. Oh, that's not good. So first things first, I'm going to lock that back circle because I don't need it to be moving around. And so click on the layer that I want, come over here, click locked, boom, locked. Now I can't move it. Oh, that's probably not what I wanted to do. Okay, so let's go here again, Shift, so that I don't distort the image, right? The size of it. I'm going to make it really big because as you guessed it, well, it is white in the background, so I probably don't need to cut it out actually, so that's probably not what I'm going to do. I will do it because it's actually a little too big, and so because I want it to be quite large, and it's obviously going to stick out the sides here. So I'm going to make it as big as I can here so that when I take my lasso tool, I can make it kind of as accurate as I need it to be. I'm going to freehand it again, and I'm going to go fairly quick. You, of course, should probably go a little bit slower just because I'm in the interest of time here. I'm going to go a bit quicker than before than I probably should. So I'm going to try and get just the border of it. I don't want any, well, I guess in this case it doesn't really matter if I get some white because, well, at times the white here, I'm going to just keep a white background, so I'm not too worried about it. So here, I'm going to make my way over there. Right, as you can see, I'm going way too quickly. You would probably want to go a little bit slower so you get, the nice features of the picture you are trying to lasso. Okay, go around the shadow here of this leg. Come around here. Oh my, can I get right to the end? Yeah, there we go. And as I come around here, you will notice that I can see that I am finished because I will get some, it's like ants on a log. Okay, Control C, Control V, or Command C, Command V. I am in Command because I am on a Mac. You can see there's the image that I want. That tail does not look fantastic, but I'm going to go with it for this video. Okay, I'm going to actually hide the background one so that I don't see it, and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Again, Shift so that I keep the same proportions. Okay, I don't need it to be exactly the right size that I want it to be right now. I'm just going to play around with it afterwards. Okay, let's bring in the soccer ball. And I'm going to add to current, obviously, because if I don't, then it creates a new project. It becomes a bit of a schmoz. So again, Shift so that the soccer ball maintains its proportions. Now, this one I'm going to lasso as well, but I'm not going to freehand. I'm going to show you a bit of a different tool. It's called this one right here. I don't know how to pronounce it, Bezier. But basically, you basically curve lines. And so if I go from here to here, right, click, click, and then I can curve the line. And then click again, and then I restart. So go to here, click, curve the line, right, from there to here, curve the line, as long as I can get the right curvature. There we go. From here to here, curve that line, and from here to here, click on the last one, curve that line. Same thing, Command C, Command V. Now I got the soccer ball that I want. If in case I want to still keep it, I'm going to hide it instead of deleting it. Okay, same thing. The soccer ball's getting pretty large, so I'm going to make it scale down, clicking the Shift button, maybe put it on this corner. And this right here, now I want the cougar in front of the soccer ball, so I'm going to shift these layers. I'm going to put this layer above that layer. And so you can see here now the cougar is grabbing that soccer ball, which I'm fairly happy with. Ooh, look at that. Looks pretty darn good there. Happy with that. Okay, I'm going to add some text, and I'm actually going to curve the text here just to say Calgary Cougars FC. Curve that text up here, put some mountains in the background, and then that'll be it. I'm actually going to put 2025 down here. I really should write like established 2025, but it might be a little bit too big. Text. Let's go here. Text. Click. I like to click it over here so that it kind of gets out of the way. Calgary Cougars FC Football Club. Okay, click off of it. Oh no, I made it in white, which again, not great when I do that. And sometimes it does happen. I'm not sure what this does. And so if you notice here, if I've clicked off of it, if you look here, I actually don't have a way to change it. It's just showing me where the position is. So again, delete it if I like to do that. I'm going to come here. I'm actually going to switch this color to black just so that it's easier for me. No, you know what? I'm going to switch it to a little bit of a blue. Okay, so that when I create that text, it's going to come up with that color. Yes, I do want a new text color. See, this is what I mean. Like sometimes that right there comes off, and I'm not sure why that is. Calgary Cougars FC. Okay. So let's edit this. Let's go with, I already did a little bit of research again, the one that I want to, and it's going to be, it's down here. I just played around. This is the one I want. I don't know why. I just thought it looked cool. And I'm going to bring it up here so that I can now kind of see what I'm working with. Okay, size is obviously something I need to change. So let's make it, I want it all in one line, so I don't want it to be too large. Let's go, I don't know, let's go there. Let's play around with the format. No, not the format, the style. Okay, I do want it to curve. And so if I want it to curve, I got to tell it what I want it to do, right? I do want it to be almost a circle, but then I can play around. If I make a circle, I can play around with the angles. If I do a half circle or full circle, let's just do a half circle. I don't need anything else right now. You can, of course, play around with backgrounds. You can play around with outlines. Oh, you know what? I'm going to keep that outline. I think I like it. Punch out. No, no, don't want that. And you can play around with this. You can play around with some shadows and things of that nature. Okay, I'm going to click off of it. And then I can now make it a little bit smaller so that the curvature matches the curvature of my circle here. So let's go with Calgary Cougars FC right there. Now I can make it a little bit bigger so it matches the corners a little bit better. Yep, I'm happy with that. Calgary Cougars FC. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click it, and I'm actually going to duplicate it so that I can keep the same styles on it. And then I'm going to bring it down here, but I'm obviously not going to write Cougars. I'm going to write how about just EST and then 2025? Okay, now you can see that it's curved. I don't want it to be curved anymore. I want that to actually be straight, and I'm going to play around a little bit with the sizing. I want that to be quite small. Ooh, that right there. Whew, I am happy with that. Established 2025 right in the middle. Okay, Calgary Cougars FC, established 2025. I'm going to put the last little bit, I'm going to put a mountain in the background here. You can see I'm going to bring this in and I'm going to add to current. Now, depending on how big you want this to be, you can, of course, do the lasso tool. I'm actually just going to throw it kind of in the right here. Oops, that's not what I want. Let's cancel that. Let's Control Z to this. I don't want that. I'm going to just put it right here. Obviously, if I extend it over my circle, the white's going to show up. But I'm just going to put it kind of right there. I'm okay where that is. The only problem is, of course, that it is over top of everything else. So I need to work with my layers here. I'm actually going to make this go all the way back down there. And so now, as you can see, I've got the elements that I need. I've got some writing. I've got the city that I want. I've got the football club or the name that I need. I've got an image of a cougar or whatever it is that matches. And I've done some text around it. Okay, I am actually fairly happy with that design. So what I'm going to do, I would export this file, quick export as a PNG, and then toss that into an assignment template and play around with it. Okay, thanks everybody. I will see you in class. Good luck with your projects.